Hello, my silky friends. I know it's been a hot minute since I've been on here. I'm sorry. Um I've been working and doing what I said I was going to do and spend more time with my friends and family, which I have been doing, and that's been great. So, um anyway, hello Don McKenzie, good to see you. So, we're actually going to talk about a lot of stuff this morning. Delphi, I am going to talk some about it probably this morning. It just depends on how the conversation goes, all right? Because there's a lot to catch up on. So if I don't do it, if we don't get deep into it today, I'll either go live tonight or tomorrow. Um, so anyway, hello Cyber Warrior. Good to see you. I hope everybody is okay from the storms they blew through last night, and I fell asleep before they actually got here, and my phone was ringing and disturbing me, and I'm like, it's not a tornado, it's just a severe thunderstorm, and 70-mile winds, so I can sleep through that. I don't know. Are y'all like that? Like I had worked 13 hours yesterday. I was just tired. And I'm like, well, it'll probably be all right. Okay, so anyway, let me take you through the rabbit hole that is my brain. Because being up and down all night, I actually woke up at like the crack of dawn. Like I saw dawn crack this morning. And can y'all hear me okay? Yeah, I guess you can. So anyway, the first thing that I do is I'm checking out news and whatever. I'm still laying in bed. Haven't even had my coffee yet. Get disturbed, which is not that unusual for me. I stay pretty disturbed. Hello, Roberta Real. Good to see you. Um, and can I tell you a funny story? Speaking of the crack of dawn, I'm just give me a second because at least I think this is hilarious. When my boys were very small, we had an event at church. It was for Easter Sunday. We had a sunrise service, and that's very common here in the South. I don't know if y'all do that other places. Most churches have kind of gotten out of that now, but we went to one that still did that. And so I told the kids, like, I had been saying we're going to have to get up before the crack of dawn tomorrow because we've got to be at church dressed and everything, blah, 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 when the sun rises. And I had made the statement, I guess, that morning, like, y'all, kids, we are going to see dawn's crack this morning. Well, I didn't think anything about it. Now we get to church, and my boys are rambunctious. They were wolverines, let me just tell you. They were feral. They kind of still are, just in a more advanced way. But we're standing there, and we literally go to church with a woman named Donna. So we're there talking, and all of a sudden, my boys start telling the congregation, we saw Donna's crack this morning. And I'm like, so Donna whips around, she looks at me. I'm like, no. I'm like, oh, Jesus. The crack of dawn. Not Donna's crack. Oh, my God. Y'all. Embarrassing things that happen at church. There you go. So, have you ever had anything happen like that to you? I don't know. Parenting is fun, let me just tell you. Shay Watson, good to see you. Rebecca Ann, afternoon. I know it is afternoon, and it's so dark here. I guess the residue of the storms. It's like I feel like it's 8:30 in the morning, or even earlier. But anyway, okay. So I'm up, and I'm watching some news about smart cities. Have y'all ever heard? I mean, I had kind of heard it in passing. Like, what's a smart city? And there's a reason that I'm focusing on this now. So I asked my new BFF Grok, not to roast a smart city, but to um tell me. I'm like, hey, Grok, buddy, what exactly? Explain to me in simple terms, what is a smart city? And so we go. over here, and this is what Grok told me. Um, I'm gonna have to get my glasses on, I think, even for this. Maybe. Let me see. No, there we go. Okay, so a smart city is an urban area that uses advanced technology, data, connectivity to improve the quality of life for its residents, enhance sustainability, and optimize city operations. Well, now that sounds good, right? We're all in favor of technology. Y'all know me, so I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. Connectivity, but here's the thing: improve the quality of our lives. Everybody wants that. It integrates various systems such as, this sounds good, okay? Transportation, energy, water management, waste disposal, and public services. Okay, okay. I'm thinking I can get on board with that through the use of sensors, Internet of Things. That's the IoT. Okay, the Internet of Things. What things? Excuse me. I'm going to need an explanation, a breakdown. You just can't tell me things, devices, and artificial intelligence to collect and analyze data in real time. So, basically, I'm getting from this, wait, hey, everything's integrated and you're using sensors and the Internet of Things and data to what? Watch my every move? I'm not doing anything wrong, but you know, I don't know how comfortable I am. In fact, I'm not comfortable with that. All right, so I'm like, all right. Let me just dig into this a little bit more, okay? Efficient infrastructure. Well, that sounds nice. We need our infrastructure to be efficient. Smart grids for energy. Intelligent traffic management. Does that mean you're going to tell me where I can and can't drive? I mean, what does that mean? And automated waste collection. Okay, yeah. Sustainability. Okay. Green buildings, water conservation. Um, and I do have a question as to why we are conserving so much water when we are on a big ball of water. There's far more water than there are continents, but you would think we have adequate resources. Anyway, connectivity, high speed internet, 5G networks, and digital platforms. What kind of digital platforms? Like, what are we talking about? Enable seamless communication between citizens, businesses, and government. Does that mean that my city council going to be watching me in my underwear? Like, what? Explain this to me. Because they're seamless communication. Well, I don't have any need to communicate with you, sir or ma'am. Generally speaking, that was a little concerning. Citizen engagement. Apps and online portals allow residents to report issues, access services, or participate in decision making. Okay, well, some of that I can see would be beneficial. Are you going to put our city council meeting online? Like, is it going to be a live stream? I can, tappity tap in there in the comment section, or, uh, I, you know, report issues. Well, it'd be nice to report issues, but I can report issues now. What do you mean by that? We can already report issues. We don't live in 1700. We already have phones. We have online stuff. Like, so how are we doing this better? And I'm not sure what that means. Does it mean that there's going to be a camera in my house? Oh, we see an issue? It's reporting the issue? Am I reporting the issue? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So, but understand, like, y'all know me, okay? And I know me. And I know I am paranoid. Not really paranoid. I'm well aware of what's actually happening. But let's just call it paranoia for the sake of whomever. I'm already wondering, It's like the Michael Jackson song. It always feels like somebody's watching me. Um, yeah. I'm pretty sure everybody's watching me now, so um that it does give you a slight sense of paranoia. Okay, so Grok is telling me all the benefits. All right, I see what you're saying. All right, so now I ask Grok, what is the downside of them? Now, Grok is usually extremely quick. Doesn't take very long for Grok to answer me, to come up with something. But this time I saw Grok like have a mind hiccup, a brain cramp. And they're just pulling all this stuff, and it's like it's like doing stuff, but it's not showing me any stuff. And I'm like, has nobody ever asked this question before? Or you don't have that programmed in? I don't know. I don't know. But you can see here now, if you are on the replay or whatever we want to screenshot this, you can see these articles, and this is the name, and this is by transportation.gov, Smart City News, blah, blah, blah. All right, so Grok had to look at all this kind of stuff because Grok didn't just know offhand, which I found very odd. Now I like Grok. We're becoming friends. Okay, so and I have a point to this, okay? It's not just about whether we like them or not. I don't feel like I have nearly enough information. I have enough information for me to say, no, thank you. I will stay rural. Actually, let me move into a cave somewhere. That sounds better. Um, okay, so they're talking about now. This is important. I know it doesn't sound important, but let's look at this. Here are the downsides. Um, let's see. Let's look at first infrastructure and costs. Now, I mean, you can look at this like with total common sense. If you have an old building, like my house is a historic house. If you have an old building, as a lot of my town has very old buildings, it would cost a lot of money to build these sensors and whatever in the heck they're doing with these smart cities. Like, you're going to have to take this old building and try to make it a smart city, right? Um, it's not cost effective. Plus, you're going to put all this money and work into it, and is this building even going to last? I mean, it's already been here 100 years, so hello. Um, so it says smart cities require extensive infrastructure such as sensors and data centers. Again, not comfortable with that, which can be costly to build and maintain. Of course, it is. This complexity often strains city budgets, especially for smaller municipalities. Okay. Data insecurity, privacy concerns, as personal information might be at risk. Well, yeah. I mean, you think about how much is at risk now, and we're not even in smart cities. Cybersecurity is crucial. Okay. Um, yes, but what are you telling me? Is this another, I can't even say it. Is this another situation where I'm willing to give up my rights for privacy because I'm afraid of the bigger picture? Like, we have to, cybersecurity is crucial. I agree, it is. With threats like hacking posing potential dangers to city operations, of course. But are you telling me that we need more security? Because I think that's what you're saying. I think that you're telling me that we need sensors and data centers and people reporting on people. It's a quick thing. Like, I think this is what I'm reading. I'm like, I think this is actually what you are saying without saying it, right? Community and sustainability. Okay, yeah. Uh, Ensuring all residents benefit, particularly those less tech savvy, is challenging. Um, I'm not even gonna say what I'm thinking about that. Um, okay, yeah. So he goes, Rock, he, she, I don't know, they uh, go on to tell me about all of the costs. And I mean, you can get on Grok and look at this yourself. You see, here we go. And this is what I'm focusing on for today, okay? Outdated systems, right? I understand that makes sense. Existing infrastructure may not support new systems. Well, no, because they weren't built for that, right? We were built for paper ledgers and all that kind of stuff. All right, upgrading urban grids and transportation. These are all things that are very expensive. All right. Not really worth it to use an old city. And that's okay. Let me go back to where I can see what you're saying. Um, because at the moment, um, I'm just like looking at this. All right. I'm just looking, considering, okay, yes, I understand, it's not a good idea to, try to put all of this cybersecurity and sensors and stuff into an old building. All right. Let me see, y'all. Rebecca Ann says, yeah, I don't want them smart cities. I don't either. I don't either. And that's with very little research. I do not want them. Um, Let's see. Shay Watson says, several years ago, I read an article on Bill Gates describing his home compound, which was literally a smart city prototype. No doubt. No doubt in my mind, Shay, that it is. Um, uh, and further, she says, you'll only be you will only be able to go where you are supposed to go, not where you want to go. Yeah, that is my look, as I went down this rabbit hole, Lord. Uh, but there's one aspect that I really wanted to talk to y'all about it today, because one thing that bothered me more than any. Um, but let's just keep going with hey Buckeye, how you doing? Uh Let's see. I like that. Angel RN. No, no, and no. That's what I say. I agree. Buckeye is, it's weird. They already know everything we do and everywhere we go and everyone we associate with. When will they ever have enough information about us? That is a good question. Is it like there's really nothing we all know? Uh, our phones are spying on us and everything else we do. Yeah. So what is end game here? You already track us way more than anybody should ever be tracked or be allowed to be tracked. And now you want to put us in a smart city. Okay. Um, let's see. Charisma 6174. Hello. Tyler technology will be used everywhere in smart cities. Okay, I am not familiar with Tyler technology, so like let me know. Let's see. Roberta Real. What my question is, what if we lose electricity? Potentially nothing would work since it's all computerized AI. True. Well, they'd have backup generators for that. The only big thing I can see with that, honestly, is a cyber attack on our internet. Okay, that would be a big deal. If you take down that, then yeah, if you're in a smart city, what's going to work? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Um, let's see. Streets of Bakersfield. Hello, hello. They burned down my hometown so they can make a smart city in time for the Olympics. I understand exactly what you're saying. As a matter of fact, I did we talked about that a lot on lives. I don't know if you were on in those chats, but yeah, absolutely. We're talking about on the West Coast. It's insane. It is insane, infuriating. And that is a good transition, actually, Bakersfield, for where I was going. Um, let me go to some other things. Now, I came across let's see, I think it's this one. No. I'll find it here. There is one it's on X, I think. Yeah, here we go. Now let me tell you this. Let me see if I can find. Let me put it back where you can see it. All right. I'm gonna have to change everything again. Sorry, I have to change all my settings for different ones. I should just set up a whole bunch of them, but I don't. But that's exactly what we're talking about. Okay, there is and I've referenced this before. We're going to look at it in a minute. There is a YouTube channel, and he's also on X. It's called Minutes of Horror. It's not like what you think. It's like real horror, not fake. Unfortunately, I wish it was. All right, but this here was posted by Benny Johnson. Let me go to that, and I'm going to turn the sound up and let you listen to this. This is South Carolina right now, okay? And this was on March 2nd. And y'all don't know, I don't know if I don't watch mainstream media hardly ever, but I don't know how much you know about, if you're on alternative media, you know a lot about the fires in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach area. I don't know how much their mainstream is covering it. Let me see. Okay. Let me change this again. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's already on there. How did I do that? Wow. I don't know how I just did that, but that was quick. I like it. I wish I could do it again. All right. We're going to watch this little video. And this is, of course, you see that it's from Minutes of Horror. I encourage you, if you like to be disturbed, like I do, watch this. But this is interesting, this news report, okay? And this is what I want you to hear. Okay, now this is actually not, I'm trying to find the date on this. This was earlier, okay? I don't think it's exactly now. Now, we're not going to watch this whole thing. I just want you to listen to this little blip.
North Carolina. The Crooked Creek fire is now 100% contained, but has left a 220-acre burn scar.
Okay, did you hear that? Because they're going to say it again. At this time, it says that it was contained, and they're going to keep talking about this.
In the Old Fort area, the North Carolina Forest Service issued a statement urging residents to cease any outdoor burning until those conditions improve. So let's get an update on the fire situation in Western North Carolina. Joining me over the phone with more insight on the current wildfire situation is EJ. He's DeWiggins. He's going to be with the Fire Information Officer for the North Carolina Forest Service. And EJ.
Okay. They are going to be talking about, and I can't play this whole thing, but they're going to be talking about, they're going to be talking about how the fire is contained. And what they're saying is, like, it's contained and they were letting it go overnight. Like, there was absolutely no way it could spread. They had some little hot spots. In fact, they say when they went out there the next morning, there were a couple little hot spots. They put them out. The whole fire was contained.
Thank you for being with us. Can you kind of speak to the current fire situation? We know we have 100% containment, but does that mean we have full control of what we're seeing right now with the Crooked Creek fire?
Yeah, that's correct. We do have 100% containment. So the fire
100%. Okay. 100% containment. Now, it had already burned a lot of acres. Let me go back to where I can see you. The thing of it is, strangely enough, now the first video you saw was Carolina or was it North or South Carolina? Right now, fires are raging at Myrtle Beach. Wow. Now, of course, we've had a lot of wind, et cetera, but these fires just keep popping up, popping up, popping up. That's why I really want you to go watch this video. If you're interested, go watch this particular video that I watched this morning, because there was a big announcement, I think it was last year, that they want to make Myrtle Beach an area. I'm going to take this off for just a second. Myrtle Beach is zoned now not just to be a smart city, but there is a region. And if you will watch this video, they'll show you the news report where it's not just a town. Okay, first of all, Myrtle Beach is growing like crazy. Like, I haven't been to Myrtle Beach in so many, like so many years. I don't know, probably more years than my kids. Some of my kids have been alive. But the last time I went to Myrtle Beach, it was pretty much just a tourist town, you know? Now I know it's grown a lot since then, but it's one of the biggest growing cities. I didn't know that, because they have this big music convention down there. Okay, again, I I don't follow that kind of stuff. I don't really know what's going on. However, um now it's a lot of people also have said, as you know, when I was covering the Micah Miller case and stuff, I've always said, you keep digging, you're going to find trafficking, you're going to find the moving of humans. I just know it. You're going to find that. Well, already we know that it is one of the hot spots. Not as big, of course, as Atlanta and stuff like that, but still, it's there. So here's the thing. You have them, just like out in California. Oh, we're going to build a smart city at Myrtle Beach. Oh, it's not going to be just a smart city. We want a smart region, and that lays out a large portion of land. We want a smart region. Well, isn't it strange how when old buildings are a problem, they just, you got wildfires, right? Happened in California. And it also is happening in Myrtle Beach. Now, is that coincidence? I have to say, I don't think so. Let me see what y'all are saying. Yes, exactly. That's what the LA fires were all about. Absolutely. Oh, wow. Looks like a bomb went off in Malibu. Oh my gosh. Like, I want to tell you, that was so heartbreaking to me. And I was so angry. I was so angry at all of the stuff. I did several live streams of rants about that kind of thing. Hello, Pam Frenchman. All right, good. Listen, I do that a lot when I'm working. All I can do is listen. Let's see. Buckeye says yesterday Houston had a fire hazard warning during a rainstorm. During a rainstorm? Is it because of the wind? But still, you got the rain. Yeah, what? Yeah, Buckeye. I guess it didn't destroy enough with the hurricane. Exactly. I will show you. Let me see if I can get. I know you can't see what I'm doing. Let me see if I can get ahead in this video enough to show you all the places. And I am going to show you some more of this. And I learned in this video that there were things that you can't say that I didn't know about on here on certain platforms. Okay, there's this. Now let me go. This is the triangle. Make sure you can see that. Oh, no, let me go. Right here. Okay. So let's go. This is how they're I wanted to show you a map. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Of where they think of where yeah, see here's Smart LA. There's other places that show here we go, maybe. Okay. Let's see if this is bigger. Yeah. Let me get this.
Best be prepared and listen. Okay. This is what is happening. So, what I honestly think is happening in the DFW, or in that area, excuse me, not the DFW, is that they are setting these wildfires intentionally by something called DEW.
Can y'all
I need
see
you to look it up. I can't say it.
Okay, because it went black on my end. Did it black out what she's saying? Or is that just me?
Out here. So it can easily burn down the area. And then BlackRock comes in, takes it over, buys everything up for cheap, rebuild it, and voila, you get a smart city prison. Now,
okay, I don't know if you can hear what she's saying. I'm going to have to find this map for you. This is concerning. Maybe y'all can see it, but I can't. Every time I look at what y'all are seeing, it's black. Like that box where this lady is talking is just black and it's not doing anything. Let me know. Hey, Samantha. You hear it, but can you see it, Shay? I don't know if they've got it blacked out because of this, but you can see this map. I guess you can look it up on the internet. It's DOT Smart City Challenge. All right, the state of Alabama is in there, as are, you can see, all of these blue states have somewhere, at least one city. In Alabama, that smart city is Birmingham and Montgomery. Thank goodness I don't live in any of those places. Because now I'm thinking, are we going to have like a major tragic event in Alabama because they want to make Birmingham and Montgomery, which they're a good distance apart. Is this on the agenda? Like, do I need to put this on my 2025 map of disasters? Because Birmingham and Montgomery are, and that's where our capital is, are targeted. I don't know. It's insane. I don't know why you can't see it, and why you can only hear it. But I would, if I were you, see if you can. If I can find it, I'll put it up on a community post. But see if you can find those all the DOT smart city challenge areas. Because let's watch and let's see if this is the same thing. Are we going to have natural disasters, wildfires, floods, whatever? I'm just saying. It's mighty suspicious. I watched let me go down. I'm behind some. I got to share this, Buckeye. Well, Myrtle Beach will never be a smart city if JP is still there. You got that right. I agree, Buckeye. But there you go. Yeah, so I don't know. I realized when I was looking at all this, it does make sense, right? You're not going to want, I mean, just look at it economically. If you want to build a smart city, it's going to cost too much, and probably it's not even going to work right to use old buildings. So you're not going to convince people, oh, let's just leave our businesses and our homes. Let's just leave everything behind, and go somewhere else, So it has to go away. Does that make sense? Whether it's by flood, whether it's by fire or whatever else, you have to have a reason to build new stuff. The old stuff has to be gone. And it makes me wonder what else. As far as North Carolina is concerned, I've heard it's the Raleigh Durham area is a big one, and also Asheville. These are places. Now I don't know. I'm just saying we have never seen this kind of disaster before, and I mean, let's logically, what are the odds that they just happen to say, "Oh, we want to put a smart city here," and then the old city just goes poof? Like, what are the odds? Come on, let's think. Use your brain. Use your thoughts. And I'm not saying you don't. Obviously, you do, because y'all are great researchers, and you always have way more than I know in the comments. But I'm just saying, for anybody who's just hearing about this, research, okay? Because when something just sounds off, you need to dig into it, okay? Let's see. There's a short on YouTube right now showing a smart city environment claiming to be a safe haven for Alzheimer's patients. Oh, get a hint. Yes, I know exactly what you're saying, Shay. Exactly. Mm. Samantha says an enforced system wouldn't work unless the people being forced are all clustered together. Yes. And let me tell you, I think I've got it in a folder somewhere, probably to show on Rumble. They were talking about a smart city and how this was horrifying to me, okay? Because they had their projected environment was like this really tall building like you would see in a big city, New York, whatever. Big tall building, and you have all these people living there, okay? Everything is a smart appliance. In that building, you've got your Starbucks, you've got your gym, you've got your grocery store and stuff like that. It's like everything that you really need is contained in this building, along with a bunch of apartments and offices. So like you live in this building, you work in this building, and then you have your basic supplies in this same building. And they're like, there really aren't any cars. And I'm like, my God, you're like a prisoner, right? You don't have a car. Everything you do is in this building. Like, you have no reason to get out of the building, do you? That is horrifying. That is, just a much nicer prison, right? And I was looking at this prototype and I was like, oh my God, that is, it was so bad. It made me want to just head for the hills of, I don't know where, as rural, maybe another country. Like I wanted to get as far off the grid. I'm like, I don't want to be captured and put in a building. Um, it, you know, it seems so far fetched, but think about it. Think about prior to the numbers I can't say. Okay. Think about maybe just prior as the new millennial came. Okay. And think about how life was, right? Think about how life was in 1999, 2000, certainly before that. But if you were to, I don't think we realize how much has changed until sometimes, like, I'll be watching an old movie with, my kids or somebody, and I'll be like, oh, like this was a good one, like way back in the day, you know, and then I'm watching it and I'm thinking, why didn't they just call somebody? Oh, they don't have cell phones. Why is it this way? You don't realize how much it has changed just in the last 20 years, 25 years, okay? 24 years. How much freedoms we've given up and how much things are changed. If you had told me back in the 90s that I would have surveillance on me all the time. Again, upside down. My little phone. I have surveillance on me all the time. If you had told me that, if they had said, hey, we've got this new device that's really entertaining. You can play games, you can talk to everybody, everything that's going on, but it's going to watch your every move, listen to everything you say. Do you think any of us would have actually gotten cell phones? No. Now, everything in life, we're forced to, right? There's so many businesses, like in this state, there's a lot of the Social Security offices, which are the brick and mortar, are closing down. And so they're like, oh, you can do this online. Well, it's true. You can do it online. Most anything you need can be done online, right? If you had told me where this little device that seemed so convenient, like, oh, it's just, when they came out, the cell phones were like this big and you could have one in your car or whatever, just for emergencies. And you're like, oh, hey, this is a great way. If there's an emergency with my kids or my family, they can get in touch with me. We never thought that we were going here with a cell phone and internet, did we? But yeah, here we are. And it's been a relatively short amount of time. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to take much to get us over the next hump, right? What happens if you own property or your whole life is in Myrtle Beach, your whole everything is in one of these potential smart cities, and they're like, hey, sucks about the loss of your house, but hey, we got this great thing here. And this is going to be so much better. Your life is going to be so much easier. Just, come into the smart city. How many of us could resist that, really? Do I want to live, in substandard housing or whatever? Well, actually, I would, preferably to that. But again, you got me with the cell phone. You got me with the internet. Here I am on the internet. What more will we compromise? How slick is it going to be? Anyway, what do y'all think? I don't believe in coincidences like this. Natural disasters, after you say, hey, we want you to be a smart city. Come on. Think about it. And do go watch this video. It goes into a lot of depth. I may play it over on Rumble at some point. But anyway, let me see what y'all are saying. Hello, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? That is always so funny. I know what you mean, but it's funny to say it. Let's see. Samantha says, this has been building up for a while. Sorry, it loses focus. There we go. This has been building up for a while, and people were so busy and diverted they couldn't see or believe. Surveillance of private citizens has been in the works. Absolutely. The programming has been in the works. Yeah, we didn't see it. We didn't see it coming. Who's your daddy says, hi, Silky. The government gives these cities money to build up their cities, to build their cities up. However, the government wants people to keep people in clusters, and if they don't get the money, well, that's what makes the world go round, right? The people. Here's the thing: if you are a person who can be bought, look out. I mean, look out for the rest of us too, but still. Okay, I will. Silky, look up the line. Saudi Arabia. Okay. What is that about, Shay? Is it something that I can look up while we're talking here? Or, yeah, true. Hey, true. When we're starving, we will comply. You're right, Shay. I mean, especially for people who have small kids and stuff. Like, would you comply to make sure your kids were taken care of, yeah, most rational people would. Okay, you can follow the progress of the construction of the line. Okay. Hey, well, congratulations. Let me stop for a second here. Great grandson number 2 arrived this morning. Oh, congrats. Congrats, Samantha. That's awesome. That is awesome. I know that's exciting. All right. Ugh. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. Let me see all of the other disturbing things that I came across. I'm going to look up some more things on TikTok as well. So anyway, there's our smart cities. There you go. So what do y'all think? It seems like everybody kind of knows. It's not a shock for any of y'all, is it? Like we all know what's coming. It's terrifying. You know, it's terrifying, and the thought of, I don't know. On one hand, I feel maybe it's just me and my anxiety. On one hand, I look at stuff that's going on in the world and I feel like, "Oh, come on, back in focus, back in focus." I feel like some really great things are happening, you know, all the exposure with Doge and all that kind of stuff. Let me just take a minute though. All right. I know. I'm going out on a limb here. But for a bunch of years, I have invested in cryptocurrency. Don't get excited. It's like tiny amounts because, you know, it's being a single parent and raising my kids. It's like just been little, you know, I've made enough money that, you know, for major things, you know, I'll cash in one of my cryptos for, you know, something. It's not a lot of money, y'all. But I've kind of diversified. And you know, it's kind of just, you know, extra money. You take an extra $20 here and you're like, well, I would probably blow that on something anyway. And so let me put it in crypto. And then it sits there. Well, I had a thought the other day. Y'all know, if you have ever read any of the QAnon posts and stuff like that, which I have read tons, you know that a lot of it refers to everything being a show, okay, a show, a play, a movie, you know, like things are planned. I understand what they're saying. Like, you know, I hope that things are all for the good. All right. But I'm like to think that I'm not an idiot, so I look at all things. But something struck me really weird the other day. I thought, you know, back in, I'm trying to think what year it was. Was it like 20? I was already living in this house, so it had to be like, maybe was it 21, 22, something like that. It was a couple of years ago. Elon Musk said something about Dogecoin, right? If you don't know what Dogecoin is, it actually was just really meant to be a funny coin, a crypto. It wasn't really, I don't think, meant to be taken seriously in the beginning. And it had a little dog, the picture of a dog head. It was the creator. Supposedly, this is the story. Okay, whatever. You know, this guy decides to make a coin, dog coin, Dogecoin. So, you know, nobody really thought that much about it. All of a sudden, I don't know if I think I had already invested in it, just because if you know anything about crypto, if you buy even a small, tiny amount of a little tiny crypto, if it goes up any kind of significance, I mean, pretty much still worthless. You can make a lot of money just because it's gone up. Um, it's insane. But there are so many, you're just like, whatever. So I don't know. For some reason, I put a little tiny amount in Doge, and so then Elon says something about he really likes. They were asking him about finances, and he's like, I really like, Doge. So everybody was, if y'all who have invested in this, you'll probably remember it's not been very long. So everybody is waiting for his next statement because everybody thinks this is an insider thing. Like he's given us a tip that Doge is going to really rise. And so people were just like socking money into there, and they were waiting for Elon's next interview on something because they're like, is he going to mention Dogecoin? And so Doge started going up. So I put, I don't know, maybe, sorry, I have no idea who's calling me. I don't know who that is. I have I put like maybe $60 in Doge. I'm like, okay, let's see. It's not going to kill me. And Elon gets on there, and his next thing, he says nothing about Doge. No, so so then the price of Doge plummets. And I had it stuck in an account that I basically forgot about. I'm like, oh, well, whatever. It's not a big deal. And so a couple of, since the election, I think it was maybe back in January, whatever, I'm going through my, wallet, my online wallet, and I'm just saying, oh, I'm like, dang, I forgot about Doge. I know I don't have any money in there, but let me just close this account. Well, all of a sudden, my account had grown to like $150. Again, not a huge amount of money, but I'm like, dadgum, I lost it all. Not only gained, I doubled, more than doubled my money, and I didn't even know. It was just sitting there for a couple of years, and I never looked at it. I'm like, dang, wish I'd invested more now. But here's my thing. I got to thinking, now follow me. Some of you might be on the same train of thought. If it is a movie, if what QAnon says, if what, some of these other people say, I hope I don't get in trouble for that. Like, is it all pre-planned? Because you have to wonder, did Elon mean back in those days, was he not talking about Dogecoin? Did he know? Did he already have a plan for Doge as we know it? Because that's really what people think of when you say Doge. You're not thinking about the crypto. You have to wonder, what does this mean? Was that just, I don't know. It freaked me out. What do you tell me? It freaked me out because I don't know. I literally do not know. But yeah, Dogecoin did increase in value, and it may be even worth more now. I don't know. I'm not looking at it. But was it a foreshadowing of something that he knew? I don't know. Tell me in the comments what you think. Am I just nuts? It's okay. You can tell me you're crazy. I've been told that before. Let's see. Let me go back to what y'all are saying. Buckeye says, I was at Disney World about 40 years ago. They had an exhibit about the future showing a girl on a Zoom call. I thought to myself, why would anyone want to do that? Exactly. I'm like, well, even when my kids call me and I see it, especially my daughter, it's on FaceTime. She'll FaceTime me. I'm like, oh my God. Is there anybody there with you? Otherwise, that's terrible. Like, hair standing up, whatever. And didn't the Jetsons do that? I think I remember the old cartoons. Didn't the Jetsons have something like that? Yeah, it's like, Shay says you'll be floored that we all didn't know about the line. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, the line. Okay. Let's see. How many coincidences does it take before it becomes mathematically impossible? Good question. Hey Nancy Drew. Oh, I'm sorry, but just hit the replay. We've been talking about smart cities. We haven't gone. We're almost an hour in. Who's your daddy says most definitely. My friend is real familiar with this. I will ask about this. Curious myself. Are you talking about? I don't know which thing you're referring to, Hoosier, but yeah, I don't know. That was just a crazy thought. That was a crazy thought I had about Doge and like, is this all a setup? I mean, some of the posts on 4chan and stuff like that. If you've ever read them, it does say it is, and it's a good plan. This is again. This is according to. I believe absolutely nothing. Okay, I believe nothing, uh, except the Bible. That's the only thing I believe. Okay. Do I trust anybody? No, I don't. I hope that this is a great thing and it's just not another way into, you know, uh, catching us off guard and putting us in a different kind of net, you know? So I don't know. I just thought about that. And when I thought about what happened with that crypto, I was like, yeah, isn't that strange? How many coincidences exactly like you just had? Like you just said, how many coincidences does it take? Um, yes. Oh, okay. You were talking about Doge. Yeah. See if he remembers that because I remember seeing back at that time. I don't even. I may have been doing videos on my first channel. I probably was, but I wasn't doing anything like this, and Silky Southern didn't exist. But I remember seeing a lot of my friends on Facebook, which I am hardly ever on Facebook anymore. But they were investing money. They were like, "Hey, blah blah blah," and I'm thinking, y'all need to put skids on it because, like, I know y'all's financial situation. Y'all need to be investing that kind of money in something, you know, unless it's play money, you know, excess that you don't need. So anyway, uh, I just remember it being a huge thing. And then I remember on Facebook after Elon didn't, say crypto, blah, blah, blah. It, I remember them being devastated. I lost, like $500 or something. And I'm thinking, well, you're kind of dumb, because you never should have invested that much unless you could afford to lose it. That's just my thinking. And this is why I don't go to Vegas. I can't afford to lose Vegas money, okay? But yeah. So, all right. I know. Let me pull up some stuff. We'll talk a little bit. Let me just tell you this. I know I've been behind on videos for so many things because of work schedule and, again, taking my life back and enjoying the moment schedule. I am going to put a lot of stuff on Rumble subjects that you can expect to see. I can't even list here. But there was an event in 2001 that I would like to talk about. There was an event, what is this, 5 years ago, I would like to talk about. There is some corruption I would like to talk about. And some moving of humans. Okay. So those are the kind of, which I've already started that on Rumble. Going to add some more videos this week. Just so you know, those are the kind of things that we will discuss. And I don't know if I'll go live or I'll just do videos. Anyway, got a lot of good links for some of that. So for all y'all people who love to be horrified, I gotcha. But guy says Elon seems otherworldly to me, but that's okay if he's on our side. I agree. Whatever. True. Well, true, Shay. And I'm not now that I think about it, I'm not even sure what I can talk about on here. But those who dispel, I'm putting it up there, saying it's just a control over the sheeple don't understand. He never told anyone what to do. He only asked the questions. True. Well, true, but there's a lot of. I mean, he didn't tell. You're right. He didn't tell people what to do. But I think, just in my opinion, I think sometimes when you are bringing out something and you're saying this is going to happen, look at this, look at that, then people kind of assume that it's going in a certain direction, and it kind of does make you want to do that. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I have followed that and for years and looked at a lot of stuff, and I am just wondering. I don't have a problem if it is a good, actually the motivation is pure. I don't mind if we're watching a movie. Okay? Don't mind. Fine. Great. Exciting. I guess I'm just saying I always look at everything, and I don't follow anybody blindly ever, 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 ever. And I haven't found anything wrong yet. But again, I always, yeah, just please always look at all sides. Like, look at the whole picture. Look at all, I listen to some people, they just make me mad. They're idiots. And I'm like, I listen to some people, but I'm going to listen to what's your argument against this, okay? Even though it sounds like you have, your brains have fallen out and of your head and are running around the yard with scissors, I'll still listen to what you've got to say. It's not going to make me agree with you. I'm just saying, make sure. Just like in that's how we got here with Delphi, right? With the Richard Allen case. That's how we got here. It's like, this don't sound right. This doesn't look, something ain't right here. Something stinks in Carroll County. True. You're without it, we would not know most of what we know now. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 100%. I guess I'm just saying, Shay, I hope that everything is exactly like they say. Or like we want it to be, okay? I'm holding on hope to that. There have been times that over the last 4 years I've been like, oh my God, was any of that going to happen? But yeah. Yeah, you're right, Samantha. He's got a lot. I didn't realize he had so many kids either. True. Who's your daddy? It's not that we're told what to do, but what we are forced to do. Absolutely. Yeah, don't force me to do nothing. It ain't gonna go well. All right, let me look at. I know y'all probably seen. I didn't see anything on anybody's channels because I was tired and I didn't look. But let me go to a different media source and let's pull up this. Somebody put this on X. Come on now. Somebody put this on X. I think I shared it. It's the documents. Let me fix this up. Or maybe it's like a synopsis. I don't know. What do I know? I feel like this morning I'm just catching up with life. I feel like I've been in a vacuum. Okay. Back to Delphi. Certainly these are a lot of pages. I'm not going to go through it. Not at this point. I'm probably going to pull out pieces. But yeah, we're back to motions and all this kind of stuff. Let me ask y'all, just from the get-go, this whole Ricky Davis letter stuff. All right, I'll tell you this. I'm for due process. I don't care. I believe that Richard Allen is innocent, but if I am wrong, then somebody prove it to me. And I don't care if it's Ricky Davis or whatever. Like, I want to know the truth. The bottom line is I want to know the truth, period. I do not believe that Richard Allen was involved. I have seen no evidence that suggests he was involved. But now I am a big advocate of due process, which is not happening in this case, which is what makes me so infuriatingly mad. So, what are y'all? I want to know. Like, I'm really curious to know, because we've all been talking about these, the Ricky Davis thing has been on everybody's. Let me get where I can see you. So, what do y'all think? Are you pro Ricky Davis, or does it disturb you? I don't know. What are your feelings? Throw them out there. Hey, Gloria. Okay, let me see what you're saying. I've had to make this short. I'm running out of battery power on my phone. Yes, we live in Texas. We haven't had you haven't had power in over 24 hours. Oh my God. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Well, Gloria, you take care of yourself. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Prayers to you, Gloria. Thanks for stopping in and say, hey, just catch up, whenever you can. It's no big deal. Yes, there was a reason the framers of the Constitution wrote due process into it. Absolutely. Okay, bye, Roberta. I just saw that. Bye, Roberta. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So, what do y'all think? I mean, I'll tell you what I think, and you can agree or disagree. We can talk about it. My whole thing has always been due process as well. Okay, and it still is. At first, I'm like, okay, he had exculpatory evidence. Whether Ron Logan did it, I don't know. Don't know. Always from day one said he knew something. Ron Logan knew what happened. How did he know it? I don't know. But, Ricky Davis, the suppression of the letters, then we find out, old Slick Nick McClelland says, it actually made Richard Allen look bad. It was actually, do you think, first of all, what are a load of horse crap? Okay? Horse feathers. Do you think if he had any credible evidence that Richard Allen was involved, that he would have suppressed it? Even if it came from Ricky Davis? I mean, I understand somebody in prison is not the most necessarily, it could go either way, not necessarily reliable. But do you think if he really had something against RA that's the reason? No. I think that Slick Nick didn't want it out there because it did involve somebody else. So let's just suppress the whole thing. Yeah, does it make Ricky look bad? Sure it does. But it also makes Ron Logan and Kagan Klein look guilty. So, okay. So what are we going to do? We're going to suppress it all. We're going to try him. We're not even going to bring this in here because we don't want that other information out there. That's what it sounds like to me. Slick Nick McClelland. Nick, he has a lot of nicknames over on Twitter, and sometimes I read stuff. I'm like rolling. I'm just rolling when they refer to him. They've come up with some really, really creative names for him. I'm just gonna stick with Slick Nick McClelland, but there are some that are a little bit more spicy that make me roll. Just know, y'all people who post that, you make me laugh every time you say it. Yes. Let's see. Joey says, hello, Joey. Richard Allen is innocent and they've been lying from the start. I showed you the first lie, and that was the girls were found in the river and not on land. Yes, the more and more I look at this, and, that was a question to me a long, long time ago. Were they actually found in the river? That's what they said. Nobody disputed it until they did, right? Until it wasn't convenient. I think the whole timeline, like the actual event is such a load of crap, okay? The way everything happened, the timing, everything has been something that has bothered me. If you go back to my videos from 2 years ago, I'm going to challenge the timeline then. That was in 2022, 2023, maybe beginning of 2023. Like I've always had a problem with it. Try to follow the narrative some to make something make sense, but it never has. It never has. So I agree with you, Joey. Yes, this is the problem. Exactly, Shay Watson. The omission of exculpatory evidence is illegal, and this trial was full of it. Yeah, it was full of it on a lot of levels, Shay. Yeah, it is. That's my problem. Okay, again, y'all already know. I don't think that Rick Allen had anything to do with it, but I want to see the truth. Right? I'm going to see all of the truth. Due process, as much as I care about Kathy Allen and the family and the families of Abby and Libby as well, okay? As much as I care about that kind of stuff, I equally care about due process because in the end, it affects far more than even this case and these people involved. It affects all of Indiana and potentially all of the United States. We are setting precedences here that are just ridiculous. And look, I feel sorry for y'all Indiana folks. I've had people send me stuff in the mail, like other things going on in Indiana, and I'm like, holy crap. I mean, we got a mess down here in Alabama too. Don't get me wrong, but I look at that stuff and I'm like, Jesus, I am glad I don't live in Indiana. Let's see. Who's Your Daddy says, just be cautious about giving him a platform because if he is making things up, it could make things worse. I agree. Yeah. Hopefully I'm wrong and this will grow branches of truth and bear fruit. I've heard from so many people that, different takes on this, whatever, that or reports, what should I say, that Ricky Davis thought RA was guilty and he wrote to McClelland and, blah, blah, blah. He's saying that he was involved with KK and RL, right? But then after the trial, he changed his mind and he's like, okay, no, I believe RA is innocent. It really doesn't matter to me what you believe. Okay. You either knew, which I don't think he has said, like that Kagan or Ron said RA was involved. They knew. His testimony is they knew things that only the perpetrator would know. And my understanding of this is that Ricky Davis assumed that RA did this, but he wasn't alone. He was with these two other people. Now, then he decided, no, I don't think he was. That actually, to me, is immaterial, whether you think he was or he wasn't. What I need to know is what you're saying about Kagan Klein and Ron Logan the truth? Or can we vet that some way? Does it make sense? Yeah, there's a lot of things that do make sense. Let's just take that issue. And I'm not worried about whether RA was involved or not. Let's get down to the truth of this. Did Ricky Davis have information that only could have been told to him? I mean, we know he wasn't the perpetrator. So it only could have been told to him by someone involved. And if that's true, then that is a problem, right? Because we know how else did he know this, right? Let me go back. Yeah. Well, that's a good point, Samantha. Richard Allen was in prison and his confessions were taken as gospel in a court of law. Why should he be singled out when there were other confessions before Richard Allen? Yeah. Exactly. Here's the thing. You're going to take Richard Allen's confessions as gospel? Like, he's in a psychotic, drugged up state, in horrible conditions. He is literally out of his mind. No, like, in the conditions, it probably happened to a lot of people. So he's in this state. He's confessing wild things that we really. Here's the thing. We don't know exactly what he said because, Walla Walla said whatever. She didn't even take freaking notes. Ridiculous. We got generalizations by someone who is not credible. So what did he actually say? Well, they've got him saying some things. Again, he's in a psychotic state. Ricky Davis is not. But we're going to take Richard Allen's confessions as gospel, and we're going to say, oh, no, we can't listen to this guy because, he's an inmate. You don't trust inmates. I work with inmates every single day. I get that. Does it make everybody untruthful? No. Do they have a propensity to make up stuff? Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt. If they think that it can better their situation. Yes. Happens all the time. But can they tell the truth? Equally, yes. Equally, yes. Let me see. But we're not going to believe him because he's an inmate. Yeah. But we're going to believe these, we don't even know what kind of medicine he was on. Let's see. Shay Watson says, at this point, if they start admitting the suppression of evidence, they will be shown as conspirators committing fraud upon the court. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But you know what? Look, at this point, I think Indiana is so corrupt, it wouldn't shock me at all for Judge Gull and Nick McClellan to come out of the courthouse holding hands and saying, hey, we made all this crap up. We suppressed evidence. Yeah, we're just as we're just as corrupt as can be. Y'all have a good day now. Walk back in the courthouse in Indiana, not do anything. Like, that would not shock me. I'd just be like, well, there you go. There's Indiana for you. That's the justice system they got it going on up there. Would it be shocking? No, I don't think so. We've been shocked about, like, for real things. Joey says KK is involved, but cops could not prove it, so they made sure he got 42 years on a crime that normally he would get 4 to 6 years. Hey, if they feel that is justice, I mean, I'd rather see. I mean, that doesn't make me unhappy. I realized that he would not have gotten more time. Like, he would have gotten a lot less time for his actual crimes. However, I think that is what is that? I think that's injustice as well, because the type of crimes and whatnot that he was perpetrating and the whole ring of people, like, I think people like that should be under the jail. That's my opinion. The law doesn't say so. That is my opinion. Because they're never going to stop. All right. Exactly, Shay. Why only certain confessions were used in trial, but not others that would show confessions to be questionable? Of course. Let me go down some. Yeah, good point. And I haven't heard anybody really talk about this aspect of it. Why didn't they charge RA with the unalivings of his daughter and grandchildren? He confessed to that too. Yeah, he sure did. His whole family. But for some reason in court, that was just like, oh yeah, he was out of his head. That was never brought up. Like, okay. So we can say that's not true because obviously he was out of his mind. Oh, but this part is absolutely gospel. Make it make sense because it doesn't make sense. Yeah. I agree, Samantha, about the medication cocktail alone should have excluded any statements Richard Allen made. Here's the thing that bothers me about this is you can't. I'm trying to think what it is. I'm trying to think what law it is, but yeah, you can't sign a statement if you are under the influence. Okay, if you're in the hospital, I'm trying to remember what kind of stuff they had to sign. But you cannot agree to have a surgery or to have any procedure done in the hospital if you are under the influence of some kind of drug, whether that is a painkiller, that you're getting for a situation, or psychiatric, or you're on some of these very mood stabilizers, anti-anxiety meds that are controlled. If you're on any controlled substance at all, you cannot even, they don't deem you sane because it can, or not sane, but you're not able to make a decision. Because and this was something that, I would, when I worked in various hospitals, the patient has to sign a consent. The doctor comes in and says, okay, well, you know what? We found out your gallbladder's bad. So here, we're going to do surgery tomorrow. I need you to sign this consent form. Well, if that patient was under the influence of morphine or something else, or whatever, okay, they could not sign that until they came out from, if they didn't have another person who could sign for them, as far as had power of attorney or was the spouse of or whatever. Anyway, somebody that they gave legal consent to. That's just for small things. So you're telling me that we can't, because if it's challenged in court and all of a sudden that person says, I didn't tell him to take my gallbladder out, they can sue if you sign that paper when you were not 100% in your right mind. So my question is, they know that some of these things like really alter your thinking, but yet you can confess to a crime and it can be held up in court when you clearly were under the influence of medications that we don't even know what they were. And we don't know what the side effect, like we don't know. They can have all kind of side effects. So this is the fact, as evidenced to me, as evidenced by the fact that he said he unalived his whole family, which we know was completely untrue. And he did all this and he did all that. Not true. But yet this part is true. Like this, like the insanity. The insanity of this case makes me so angry. Let them push daisies. Yes, you're right. Haldol and Thorazine are some nasty drool juice. Yeah. Sorry, I was reading Samantha's comment. Yeah, I've seen, oh my gosh, seen a lot of patients on those. Yeah, drool juice. Exactly. Who's Your Daddy says, I have a friend in Pendleton where Alan is. He's an honest person who is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just because you're doing time doesn't make you a liar. True. I have seen a lot of people, a lot of my patients or whatever, I've seen, in jail for, especially nonviolent crimes, but I'm like, this person doesn't really even need to be in here. Why are you here? Why are you here? It's crazy. I mean, I'm not the legal system. Uh, certainly I have seen some people who maybe have been they're in there for a while for something that they did that was not even violent 20 years ago. And oh, what? Oh, we found this in the system. Let's put you in jail. And they're not only not the same person, but they also, it was just a crime that didn't hurt anybody. Does that make sense? I don't know. There are issues. But yeah, so I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying there is a large amount of people who will say or do anything to get a better situation, but that is absolutely not everybody for sure. All right. Yes. Samantha, yeah, exactly. You're not able to sign a consent. Oh, Joey, thank you. Thank you. You're sweet. All right, so let me go back in here. Not going to be on maybe just a few minutes longer. There's a lot of stuff. I'm going back. Actually, I'm going back through some of my old videos and stuff. It was very interesting. I'm like, wow, we've come such a long way, and yet come such a long way with what we know. And yet, I'm looking back at some of my old videos, and I'm like, we know all this now, and that yet this, you would think if I was wrong, I would go back and say, okay, you know what, in 2022 or 2023, I believed this based on the knowledge that I had. And I'm going back and I'm like, nothing has changed. The same thing that I've thought about the timeline and many, many other factors, it's the same. Exact same as it is now. Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people, I think the Defense Diaries may have went through this. Of course, I am not going through all of this. Here we already know. I'm not reading the prosecution's theory. We heard it in court. But this is the defense theory that on February 13th, 2017, the victims were abducted, taken to somewhere else, perhaps in a vehicle, and then during the early hours of February 14th, after the search parties had left the area, were ultimately transported to the location where they were found on February 14th. I agree, and that has been a very strong contention, definitely in my head for years. Let's see. We know the state's theory is full of crap. I mean, and I say that even if RA turned out to be, for some reason, involved, I still say that the state's timeline and theory of what happened is horsepucky. It just is. Even if he was involved, those girls were not there that night, as observed by the heat-seeking drone and the many witnesses who were in that area. Okay? Get that out of your head. Girls were not there that night. So, it's a bunch of crap anyway, even if he was involved. So why can't we have the truth? Yeah, but if you want, I think I have shared this, if you want to see all of this. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking through here and I'm thinking, again, Ricky Davis, here's the thing I was looking for and I can't find it. Maybe y'all know what page it's on. Somewhere in here, there is a thing where they feel where, according to, was it Davis, that the girls were moved 3 times. Here is a very interesting question, okay? Somebody emailed me, and I assume they want to be anonymous. Got an email, and this has been several weeks ago, and we were explaining a lot of things, okay? A lot of things. The question, which I did not even think of, okay? And I'm embarrassed to say I didn't think of it. But in Elvis Field's affidavit, he talks about Abby and, her being the troublemaker, et cetera, et cetera. He spit on her, the little branches for horns, all this kind of stuff. He mentions Abby, but he doesn't mention Libby. So what does that mean? That can only mean one of two things. Either Libby was not there, or she had already been passed away. But he had absolutely nothing to say about Libby. Why? Why? And then I probably at some point will lay out a whole. That's very. I mean, what can we prove? Well, we don't have all the evidence either. I would say it's a very, very good, at the least, it's a very, very good theory of what happened. Probably will maybe just do a video on that without saying who said what. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, Shay has her own story of corruption and injustice. And so, when Shay says, and I understand because I've been in a similar situation. We had a long talk on a members only one night. But Shay says the things I was accused of were 100% verifiably and proven fabrications, but never heard in court, no due process. It cost me my kids, my business, my reputation, and not a word of truth or fact. And y'all, here's the thing. That's the problem. That is the problem. It's due process and it's truth and not cover-ups and fabrications. I mean, we're aware of this because of Richard Allen. But look, she's experienced the same things. And I'm saying, when is the corruption going to stop? When is somebody going to be held accountable? Like, people want to argue all the time. And I'm like, don't you understand? I am like trying to shout from the rooftops. This could happen to you. You could be 100% not guilty of a thing and be in Richard Allen's position. As I don't believe he was guilty, but it's not just that kind of thing. It's just, it's any kind of crime. Okay, you know what? She's trying to drink my coffee. Hey, Sach, say hi. Say hi, Sachi. Let him see your face. There we go. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Joey. I appreciate that. That's cute. That is cute. Thank you so much. Joey says, I will stand by what I said at the beginning, and that this is revenge, and AG, GK, and KK and the Paladinos are the perpetrators. It is not beyond the realm of possibility. And I'll tell you what, really, and I've showed it before on some live or some video at some point. Remember that it's a picture, and it's from, oh my gosh, I think Grismatically also had it and on his stuff. It is a photograph of it's a bunch of words, and it's got like drawings and stuff, and it says something about Kai Pai, and it's talking about the Paladinos, and it shows like a little path. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That picture has been floating around for a long time. But when I originally found that and listened to the whole thing, I'm like, dang, something resonated in me about that. I'm like, I'm not sure what's going on, but there is a lot of truth to this whole story. Sorry for the cat tail, y'all. Yeah, Samantha, if Richard Allen was guilty, why play out all the shenanigans? If he were guilty, there wouldn't be a need for shenanigans because there would be evidence. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's what I said in the beginning. If you're like just if he's guilty and you've got the evidence, then nobody's questioning it, right? You've got the evidence. But the fact is, you don't have the evidence, and now you got to hide the fact that you didn't have the evidence, and let's like mess with due process and everything else, and let's put everybody at risk because, yeah, we found out that people don't buy our load of crap. Some people do, some people don't. Unfortunately, the jury did. So you now think Ron Logan might be involved. I have never taken that off the table. It's always been there in the back of my mind. Like I said, either involved or saw it, knew exactly what was going on. Y'all know Ron Logan knew exactly what was going on his property, and 100%, even if he wasn't involved in the perpetration, said that forever. Ron Logan knew his property. He just did. There was enough out there. Oh, Pam, thank you. Y'all are so sweet. Y'all are absolutely so sweet. That's cute. Love you, Pam. Gosh, I miss y'all. When I am not live and I'm just doing videos and I'm busy and whatever, don't do anything, I miss y'all so much. I hope you know that. Love talking to you. Y'all are so smart. So smart. And you're on it. You're on it. Even my guests, let me just tell you this. Behind the scenes, and I've had a bunch of guests on from time to time. Anybody who I talk to after they're on the program, or they're on the live stream, they will always tell me without a doubt, your audience, like your live stream chat is great. They're smart. They're intelligent. My guests always say the best things about y'all. And I agree. I'm like, I know. I've got the best live chat people, subscribers. I've got the best. I do. Because you're not just supportive, you're smart and you're respectful. Even when people argue, not everybody agrees. That's fine. You're respectful. And that is, you're just great. You're great. So I appreciate every one of you so much. Hello, Lisa. How are you doing? Shay says the only one out of all the people who have been mentioned as questionable is the only one who has no evidence of any kind against him. No, you sent me an email, Pam. Do I need to look at it right now? Let's see. This is important to know. Hold on, my mouse isn't working. There we go. Joey says Ron Logan and Garrett Kurtz have known each other for a long time, and Garrett Kurtz would come out and ride ATVs there. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's undisputed fact that Garrett Kurtz, that Ron Logan had not only a relationship with Garrett Kurtz, but also very well knew Brad Holder and, that whole thing. But Garrett Kurtz, y'all, just saying, that is one scary guy, right? One scary guy. If he was in the area, wouldn't he have known probably what was going on Logan's land? Look, it's like, really, Carroll County, you took and you picked probably the only person in the whole county that was the least likely to have done anything. Okay. That was insane. You had so many good suspects. Why didn't you pick one of those? Hey, Daniel Barry. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, so I guess we're going to see. I just want somebody to step in. Sorry, I'm losing focus again. Hello. I'm waiting for Indiana. I'm waiting for Cash Patel. I'm waiting for somebody to really look and see what's going on. I think they're all corrupt. Y'all know what I think. I think it goes all the way up. What's going to happen? I mean, we're at this point we're just playing games with defense and prosecution. Like this banter could go on, could it not? It makes me mad though that if you've got nothing to hide, right? If you got nothing to hide, then why are you hiding it? Right? It makes no sense. Slick Nick McClelland. If it was a nothing burger, if Ricky Davis was a big nothing burger and could easily be, disproved or whatever, then why didn't you turn it over? I mean, because wouldn't it makes more sense if I was going to try to confuse somebody. If I'm the prosecution, I'm trying to confuse the defense, overload them. Let's give them tons of stuff, unlabeled, mislabeled. They don't know what the heck it is. They've got all this information, trials coming up. They can't even get to all of it. Well, let me throw a little more stuff to convolute it in there, all right? Let's send them down a bunny trail. Let me turn over this stuff that I already know, supposing, okay, in this scenario where Ricky Davis is just, confusing things. You would have to say, prosecution, I was like, yeah, let's throw that in there too, because they could spend weeks, on this and going nowhere because we already know that we can disprove what he says or that, whatever. It seems like if there weren't any truth to it, Nick, that you would have just thrown it up in the big pile of crap and said, hey, here's something else to confuse you and make you look like you don't know what you're doing. Why would you suppress it? Because that makes no sense. Because suppressing it makes you look guilty, right? Have you ever seen like little kids? You're asking a bunch of kids who did this. The guilty ones. Some kids look guilty and they're not guilty. They're just like, and you think, oh, you're the one that knocked over the lamp. You're the one that broke my window, and they really weren't. They're just terrified, or whatever. Like, come on. You're just making yourself look bad and making everybody look bad and incompetent. If you got nothing to hide, you just throw it out there. Now I'm saying the guilty person is the one that's looking down, walking over here, and not paying attention when you're saying, okay, who broke my window? It's the one over here, not the one necessarily that looks guilty and is terrified. It's the one that's over in the corner pretending they don't hear you. That's Nick. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. What letters? I don't have no letters. And Ricky Davis is like, oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, Nick, you did have letters. I sent so many here. I sent so many there. Then Nick's like, well, you can't believe that. It's like, are we running a legal system or is this kindergarten? Because some days I look at some of this crap and I'm like, this really looks like kindergarten to me. I guess that's the way they play it, though. People don't learn anything. If you didn't learn it in kindergarten, it's probably too late. Clearly, some people didn't. Samantha says it would only seem logical that if Ricky Davis' statement was only damaging to Richard Allen, it would not have been hidden from the court and defense. Exactly. You would think they'd want to use that, right? It makes no sense. That's like burning the that's like burning the aces up your sleeve at a poker game. Yeah, exactly. It's insane. It is insane. Shows you like my rants, Pam. Probably gonna get on a few when I cover some other things, either on here or on Rumble. But yeah. All right. I have talked myself silly. Um, I may just put out some info in a video on community posts, whatever. Y'all send me some interesting things. Oh. One more thing though. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I got an email. Let me go back to my email. Um, there was a situation. I just wanted to ask y'all, Indiana folks. Hold on. Everything has changed. And I sent this link to myself. Actually, I think one of y'all sent, or somebody sent it to me. Yeah. Let me leave people anonymous. There we go. Let me do it this way so you don't send me email. Okay, but there was a case that happened, and I was gonna ask y'all before I leave. Let me put this up here. A very interesting case, and I really don't know anything about it, but I'm like, what in the heck? In Indiana. Come on now. Yeah, here we go. What's up with this, y'all? Let me see. Let me get this up in here better. What is actually up with this? Okay. So this is a 15-year-old girl found near the train tracks on the city's west side. But it's weird. So can y'all tell me about this?
Teen who'd been missing for 15 days was found dead this weekend.
A tough situation for an Indianapolis family. The Marion County coroner identified Shaylee Snyder today. Snyder was last seen on the morning of February the 10th. Her family put out a flyer, the one you see right there, calling for help finding her in the Beech Grove area. On Saturday, we got a tip about a death investigation near Minnesota and High School Road. The caller said there was a burned up car, and today we confirmed that Snyder's body was found in that same area near railroad tracks on South 6B Street. IMPD tells us those are two separate investigations, and the coroner says that Snyder's cause of death is still under investigation. At 84.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't. That was a bizarre story to me. What do y'all know about that? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me stop this. Let me stop the madness. Okay. Let me see what y'all are saying. I gotta put my glasses on. I really need to fix this so it's bigger. Shaylee Snyder, yeah. Kaylisa says it's very odd. There are many Instagram accounts of this girl's names, but all showing pics of a different girl. See, I haven't looked at that. This was sent to me, and I watched a couple of newscasts, and I'm like, what? This makes no sense. Shay, you said, oh, I posted this the other day. Are there perpetrators still making sacrifices? And yes, the last name. Yes, honestly, Shay, when I heard that, I don't know if it's spelled the same or not, but that is what triggered me. I'm like, really? Interesting last name. If y'all remember, we're referring to Jesse Snyder, who was railroaded by Carroll County. So, yeah, I don't understand. You're right. Samantha, Indiana has kids that's been missing for years. The mainstream media doesn't cover it until it's the end. Yes, and I will say this. This came up the other day on a live. There is a a lady who does a great work, great YouTube channel to let you know what's going on with missing kids. That's Justice Served Daily. Go check her out. She does great coverage of that. We're worlds apart on Richard Allen, but she is really, really dedicated. Great lady, dedicated to what she's doing. Um, let's see. Let's see. Lisa says, wait, let me get the right one up here. At first glance, the girl in the Insta accounts appeared to maybe be Shaylee when she was younger, but that's not it. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like you have a burned out car, then you have this missing girl who's not alive. Like, I haven't seen. Have y'all seen any more explanation on this? Because I haven't. I'm like, is it related? Is it not? But what happened to the girl? I'm less concerned at this moment about the burned out vehicle than I am the girl. Because I'm seeing nothing. So I tell y'all what, if you see something, as a matter of fact, y'all, if you see something, an article, whether it's Indiana or somewhere else, it doesn't matter. You see something that you want me to potentially talk about or you want to share, email me at silkyandsouthern@gmail. And yeah, because I've been getting some stuff, some articles. I don't always like respond really quick. I'm reading the article and I'm like, that's very interesting. And it can be on a wide variety of topics. Y'all know I cover a lot of stuff. The most disturbing, because let's be disturbed together. All right. The state and town. That was Indiana. Let me look through here. And okay, the person that sent this to me said there was a correction. It's Beech Grove area of Southeast Indy. Beech Grove area. So yeah, it was very, very disturbing. This was sent to me, and then somehow or other, it also came up in a. I guess you know how your phone tracks everything you're doing. I saw it again. Not any more information than that. Really, another article popped up somewhere, and I'm like, "What is up with this? What is up?" Um. Okay. Who's your daddy? I'm getting a text right now from my friend whose daughter was unalived in 2014, Katrina Miller. Check it out. Okay. Was that in Indiana, Hoosier? Let me see. Let me put it. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this in here so I don't forget when I close this stream down. I'll have a tab open, just like I have my head a million tabs open at one time. Hello, Laura Dawson. How are you? All right. They found tracks next to the burning vehicle. Yeah. Let me ask you this before we go to. I'm very interested in that. I'm going to look into the Katrina Miller case. Just I want to know, and I'm also interested in this one of Shaylee Snyder. Very odd, very very odd. I'd like to know more about that. Also, I am still very interested in what's going on at Lady Bird Lake in Texas. That is a big one. What other if you think of a case that you want to talk about, let me know. Email me. Put it in the comments, even after this is over, because I see sometimes comments get buried on a video, but most of the time I see them. If I don't heart it or something, then I probably didn't see it, because I want y'all to know that I saw it. Yeah, you're watching the DVD of it tonight, huh? Very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. We've been at this almost 2 hours. Talked to little Delphi, talked to little smart stuff, smart city stuff. I repost a lot of crazy things on X. So if you like crazy things, just go read. I'm not even telling you to follow me on X. I'm just saying if you want to see some interesting, things that might make you think about stuff, question the narrative. I repost a lot of stuff like that. Again, going to be talking about some stuff on Rumble that I can't really talk about here. Joey says Ladybird Lake has a SK. Yes, they just won't say it, and I believe it is the work of the smiley face killers. I do too. I do too. Both you, Pam and Joey. I do too, and I've spent a lot of hours looking into smiley face, and but then here's the thing. You got to go back. Now we're getting on a completely different, tangent, but if you go back and you look at the beginning, and you have the smiley face incidents everywhere, and it's discredited, okay, by police officers or law enforcement who want to say, oh no, this is just people who drink too much and fall in the lake, and it only happens so much when you get a number like Ladybird Bird Lake within like 2 years. Like, come on, how dumb do you think we are? But if you go back to the beginning, you see that it was initiated by people in law enforcement who already knew what they were doing. We're not talking about, somebody who's just out here and you don't have any experience. You're not in investigations. Like, these people already knew. They didn't start out thinking they had an SK or it was a group of people. It was their investigative skill that led them down here. So, they wrote a book. I did 1 or 2 or 3, I don't know how many videos I did, live streams about these folks. And because Riley Strain had the same earmarks, whether I don't think we know the whole story of that, whether it was smiley face or not, I don't know. But I will say very similar. And that's how I started down that rabbit hole. But as you look at it, you're like, these earmarks are everywhere. And the same groups of people that the original investigators said, like, hey, you need to look at the homeless, you need to look at this, you need to look at gang activity. Like, it's all there. So my question is, if law enforcement is kind of poo-pooing this whole thing and saying, oh no, it couldn't be that, it's just unfortunate stuff, and it's just in this area, and it's unrelated to any of these other smiley face incidents, then it all goes back to, they're saying, all these investigators are saying it is like, what is it? It's like, it's a group, like it's a large group. What is the word, y'all? I'm having a brain cramp. But it's organized crime, okay? Basically organized crime. They're just using, maybe some cartel members, maybe some homeless. Like, they're using this. It's the same story, different place. So how different is that of organized crime with moving of humans or all this other crap that we know is corrupt from all these other agencies? Is it another cover up? Because I'm saying, at this point, it would be one thing for them to say, yeah, we really think this is an organization. Unfortunately, we haven't got a break in the case. But no, they're saying, no, you're wrong. You're not understanding. Like, don't tell me I'm stupid. Okay. When all this stuff adds up. Like, I would rather you tell me, yeah, we totally know it is organized crime. We just haven't caught a break in the case. Don't tell me, what is their phrase? I can't even think. It's probably not anything I should say on here, but don't tell me it's one thing when I see it and tell me it's something else. Like, don't say, don't, in other words, don't tell me this is an alligator, although she feels like one sometimes. Like, don't show me this and tell me it's an alligator and expect me to believe it. Come on. It's the same principle, okay? I get wound up on that. I'm very interested in that case. Let me go back to what you're saying. Oh my gosh, look at y'all are getting all of this. Okay. Yeah. What is that? Oh, Lisa, what is that? Is that hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. You're slipping off. It's because you're a big fat kitty. You're slipping off my lap. Yeah. Let me write this down somewhere where I can find it. And all I've got is a highlighter. MH370. Okay, I'm not sure what that is, but I will look it up, Lisa. Let's see. So you're talking about. All right. I'm going to have to look at, well, I've got it on my tabs. Oh, is that a cult? Yes, that's it. That's it. Hello, Keith Kellogg. You are absolutely right. Don't pee down my back and tell me it's raining. Exactly. That is the phrase I was trying to find. I'm like, what is it? I know it's something. Lovely. Thank you so much. Oh, exactly. Oh, the Malaysian plane that disappeared. Yeah, there's another one. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Can we get into some crazy? Yeah, we can. And we should. Should we? Yes, we should. All right. I'm going to let y'all go for right now. Yeah, tell me what you want to talk about. I am off the next 2 days. I'm off Thursday and Friday. So, I plan to go live and do videos in the next 2 days because then it gets crazy again. All right. I appreciate y'all so much. Good to see you, Keith. And I appreciate you bailing me out with my brain cramp. Hope you have a great afternoon. Please stay disturbed and vigilant and be truth tellers, okay? Be careful out there for sure. Love you all so much. I will see you later. Whatever you do, stay silky. All right? Bye-bye.